Right, boys, let's go on to the Bellew of the Week for episode 404. Which intro shall we play? There's so many of them, isn't there? Let's hit this one.
Let's be totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valerie Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. Come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it in there to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that.
I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he?
You fucking rat!
Good lad, Tony, leading us in nicely. Excuse me. Wrapping up, Kelly still with us. Matty D, Leonardo, Andy Patterson and Ozzie Smith. First nomination. We had a bit of beef with these, Andy, during the week. Carl Lyle J. What's wrong with you people complaining about paying £25 for the evening to see men risk their lives? Men that have to get paid, cleaners, referees, security, etc., all have to get paid, yet you blow over £30 to get wasted on a night out. That's us told.
£30 a night out? You kidding me? I can never get out. Fucking hell, I've not had one a night out in 9 months. What the fuck's he talking about? They say I'm going to go and buy £30 bottle of whiskey and bring it home and get drunk in the house.
Exactly. It's to tolerate the life around you. We need the alcohol.
So the thing is, and I didn't pay for the fucking stream, so I went and paid 30 quid for a bottle of whiskey, got smashed at the same time. I don't give a shit about cleaners, referees, and what boxers get paid.
Maybe £30 on a fucking night out in Budapest or one of these places. Not over here.
I'm not their accountant. I don't set up their what do you call me in America and that? Their 501ks and stuff like that, or 401ks.
He called us fanboys as well, didn't they? Of Fury and stuff.
Was that the guy that then went back to a bot account? He actually signed into another account trying to kind of argue the point.
He signed into this one. I'll say one. Adeg Benro, he said, a bit silly of everyone saying AJ is dealing with Ruiz. He did the same flipping thing against Joseph Parker way before you casuals knew anything about Ruiz.
And that says, I end up saying to him, you call us casuals, but we did a post-fight pod on Murray against Saunders literally last weekend. You think you're Tadger.
We've been making fun of the weight of Andy Ruiz for almost a half a decade at this point in time.
Casuals indeed. Moving on, Ben Thorne's nominated Tony, the man himself, discussing the fight last night. Unexplainable. Yes, I agree, he's great and amazing, talking about Canelo and what he does, but it's unexplainable to be able to go through weight divisions like this and bully people. Take nothing away from his boxing ability because he's amazing. But come on, for fuck's sake, he's going to end up legging heavyweights.
Yeah, subliminal messages that he's on the juice and that. Just come out and say it. Meanwhile, my pal Dillian White's got no case to answer.
Yeah. Why doesn't he say like unexplainable, putting on 30 pounds of muscle after the Olympics? Why is he not saying that? Like, you know what I mean?
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, but if he's against, I'm all for fighters. I used to love when Malignaggi was accusing everybody of PED. He used to call all the journalists stupid and all. I loved all that. Like, thought that was great. Good for the fighters to speak out against it, the good ones. Like, but if you're going to just fucking talk about it when your mate loses, like, don't fucking bother talking at all. Or do, though, because it keeps Bellew with the week going. Like, so good man, Tony.
You need to remember as well, he must have searched his own name because see when the fight was confirmed, I seen like his verdict on Sky Sports. I was in Norway at the time, right? And I actually tweeted that it says, good old Tony Smith is a test for of a lifetime for Canelo. God knows what the fuck Floyd was, right? Tony then tweets me back saying, came too soon the Floyd fight, simple as that. Right?
Simple as that.
Giving away size to someone in their prime is dangerous. I credit Canelo for taking the risk. Well, I took the risk last night.
Searching his own name on Twitter. Oh, just leave me alone, Cougs. Just searching my own name on Twitter to argue with a guy in Norway.
Yeah, and also, I just say as well as What he also said in his verdict, Tony, was this: Smith is bigger in size, stronger, and undefeated. Canelo, question mark, I'm not so sure he can deal with the size and pressure that Smith will bring. The biggest shock that Canelo's going to find, question mark, when Callum gets on the inside, he is not to be messed with. Oh, shit.
They're a fucking cult, aren't they, man? Friggin', it's like being hypnotised.
I just got bodied. Tony, Bellew. Listen, but sorry though, listen, we just talk about it. Leave Tony alone. It's Anthony. Leave Tony alone.
What he's
Tony
saying,
died.
what he's saying is ban all PED cheats unless they're my mate. In that case, leave them alone.
So that's Anthony and Dylan that would be left alone, please.
Late one, we've got one coming in from Gavin Stevens, live and exclusive from Peter Quillen. Peter Quillen says the hottest chili pepper in the world is so hot it could kill you. He's quite the character, Quillen, over on Twitter, actually. I quite like following him. Moving on here, Paul Nugent was getting stuck in, Andy. You sent this one to me. He was putting people straight before the fight. I'm on a lot of the mainly American boxing groups on Facebook, and I've been telling them for a long time it will be Callum Smith who stops Alvarez. Every time they laugh and tell me I know nothing, I cannot wait. Smash him, lad.
I wonder if he went to Facebook this morning when he woke up. You know nothing. Yes, you do. Not know nothing. Smash him, man.
Another nomination coming in here. I can't remember who sent this one in, actually, but Matthew Macklin put up a message last night. He said, how annoying is the poxy signal from DAZN, though? Keeps on freezing. Dave Caldwell jumped in and said, I've had that. Frustrating. And then somebody sent it to me and said, here's the boys trying to rip on DAZN, all the Sky boys getting stuck in, trying to say that it was a shit signal. When Kieran Joyce said, might be your Wi-Fi, lads. Mine's top drawer. And Tyler Campbell says, my internet is shite and I use the app on Fire Stick and didn't have a problem for 3 hours. So it looks like just the lads are having a few issues there, I think. With the old signal. I'm not sure again who nominated this one, but it's Stephen Smith. Had a feeling all week Callum does him in 7. Was that you, Andy? Nervous but confident. Stephen Smith on the morning of the fight.
Yeah, he's got a feeling that Callum Smith's going to do him inside 7 rounds.
Well, he did something in between 7 rounds, I suppose. Corey Winstanley, what in the fuck was that game plan? Nomination for Joe Gallagher. Joe said, you all right, mate? You see what's coming? Yeah, good lad. Not enough corner advice at this level, says Corey. John Heaton, Bellew of the Week nomination. RE, the Gonzalez Estrada rematch. This is going to be a special fight, said Eddie Hearn. It's been a long time coming, but both men are in their prime now. Snake oil sales 101.
Oh, Christ.
Good old Eddie. Sam has nominated Bellew again. Remember, you're not a drug cheat if you're a mate of Tony Bellew's. Everyone else should be banned for life, and there's a few screenshots there. Bellew. Bellew says, Andy, Ortiz and Povetkin are PED cheats, not Saunders and White. Tony Bellew exclusive. Billy Joe Saunders is not a drugs cheat. Then in the Daily Mail, he would have had to eat a whole cow. Tony Bellew slams disgusting scumbag drugs cheats and scoffs at Canelo Alvarez's meat excuse. He's almost a bit hypocritical here, I think, Andy.
Oh, without doubt. You know, as he says himself, I'm a gobshite.
Good old Tony. Let's move on then, shall we? Mr. Boxing yesterday. Reckon we could see Canelo versus Char in 2021 for the heavyweight championship of the world. You know what? I would not rule that out at all. I would not rule that happening. Michael Thompson. I only saw the fight from them touching gloves, to be honest. Apparently, DAZN used a video of Buffer and not Diamante. What was this all about?
Oh, mate, this was lads can jump in here. This was a clusterfuck because I didn't catch on straight away because I'm saying to myself, why am I hearing 2 people talking here? And then Ben says it's because Buffer was meant to do the intro visually, but then the sound got knackered within the arena, so Diamante then had to step in. Of course, us back at home is listening to both Diamante and Buffer doing the introductions at the same time. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I don't know why. Hopefully Buffer never got paid for that last night. That's shocking. I don't know where he was meant to be, but he should have been in the fucking ring. That's where he should have been.
Yeah, I think like it. They couldn't put Buffer into the arena. Maybe, like, seriously, maybe it's an issue of it cost X amount of dollars for Michael Buffer for this, and by cutting him out of the small arena to call, they were able to save a few $1,000s.
Serious question. You see, whenever Buffer passes on, someone will buy the rights and still like put him on big screens and all that doing the introductions.
Well, they're clearly testing for it.
Wouldn't be surprised, you know.
Oh,
I know
Coming to
somebody.
you from beyond the grave, weighing in at 150. Just a
Oh
hologram
wait,
of Buffer.
dead Don King has now stopped the fight from happening.
Only in America.
Only in America, indeed. Let's have a look here then. Number 10. Yeah, title watch, Andy. Nice little Argos belt there. South African National Championship.
Yeah, I forget. Is it Thebalni Mabenga? I think he lost to Sebastian Formella. I think it was the state of that. Yeah, honestly, fucking hell.
Well, talking about states, what about this? Our friend has reappeared again. Joe Jesus, cleared with a negative test.
Yes, all good. Even he actually, see after he got the cotton bud down the throat, got up and stepped towards the camera with his face, actual face, up close to the camera, and I can tell you this: he's still an ugly motherfucker.
Shout out to Jose Sass there. Joe Ringo, one for a laugh. Surely you've seen it before, lads. Not one piece of boxing in 10 rounds. This is the corner cam. What Tunde Ajayi said to Anthony Yarde, and maybe what he didn't say during the Sergei Kovalev fight. Kaiser Koba, Bellew of the week for Russian bias, despite Lomachenko being a fucking Ukrainian of all people and Golovkin being a Kazakh. That's Alan Dawson and Harry Smith going in there on Golovkin. Christopher Lovejoy. Here we are. This is it. Now, Christopher Lovejoy's kicking off here. I came up with $8,000 cash, so I booked my flights to see this man face to face and see if it could work. It didn't, lol. Don King wanted $15,000, so I was $7,000 short. And now I can't fight until May the 5th, 2021, when the contract expires. I pulled up, though, lol. Only in America. Bellew of the week, Matty, for signing with Don King and thinking it would turn out any other way.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. For me, I actually think it was listening to Demetrius Andrade rip Canelo's resume to shreds. You know, especially considering that Demetrius Andrade doesn't fight except for about once every 12 months, and that's on the optimistic side of things. You know, dismissing guys like Austin Trout is it's pretty ridiculous. You know, they're in the Cotto fight, et cetera. Canelo has developed over the years. Canelo has put together a really nice resume. Yeah, there's soft touches in there at points, and there's catch weights in there at points. But to look at them, I don't know how old Andrade is. I assume they're about the same age, and I think Canelo has almost 3 times the fights that he is. So Andrade probably should just shut the fuck up.
Well said. I think we can all agree with that. Jim McDonald has thrown one in. Bellew of the week for Porky, interviewing Mickey Theo every Friday for the last 6 weeks and asking the same questions. #bacon and views. Like I said last week, shout out to Porky. He did a really good job on the graphics for that. He's also nominated Tony Bellew multiple times. So we're happy to jump in on a Bellew nomination. Anybody see the Lomachenko interview? I haven't watched it yet, but apparently Loma said he felt the fight, or it would have been a draw at the least, but the judges were bribed. He wouldn't say who bribed them. It's not a good look, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not a good look. And I listen. Well, everybody can listen to it. What I said. If he'd won, it was Lopez was too green, and similarly, if Loma had lost, and that he was too old, he was too small and stuff. And it's bad. It's a bad look. At the end of the day, fucking just take the L. Your dad told you to pull out the fight. You told us before the fight you were fully fit and healthy, even after you had labrum surgery beforehand. You've had hand problems and stuff like that, which is good and well. You said 3 weeks before the fight you were spot on, you were 100% ready to go, and then all of a sudden it comes out that your dad told you to pull out the fight because you weren't fit, you were injured, and now you've come out and used it as an excuse, right? Just take the injury, fuck off with it, and just take the surgery and come back, right? And that would have been it. But they blame it on that. Look, you took the fight, dude. If you take the fight, you're classed to the fans who paid for it, i.e. me. I paid for your fucking pay-per-view, right? So I've got a right to fucking say this, right? If you step in the ring, you're classed fit, as far as I'm concerned. And you're using excuses against it. And I'm a fan of yours, right? You're using an excuse for losing that fight, right? You get in the ring. As I says, no fighter's 100% fit, but if you get in a fight in the ring, you are classed, to me, in my opinion, medically fit and ready to fight. If you're not ready to fight and stuff like that, then pull out the fucking fight and save us all the fucking time and excuses. Delay it if you had to. You were getting fucking plenty of money for it anyway. You could have easily got delayed. Maybe Bob Arm wanted to kind of strong arm you, maybe. I don't know, but no. I'm not having this excuse and stuff like that. You lost to the better fight, and I want to bring Lopez into Bellew the week as well, by the way, but Loma, that was bad.
Do you want to throw Lopez in there or wait till the end?
Yeah, no, I'll throw it in the new. Just obviously, what it was, there was a copper at ringside last night, and he was bantering with him basically, right? And he was saying to him, look, give a rematch and stuff, and he was just, you can see in the copper's face, he was trying to have a bit of a laugh, and that Lopez has got all serious and that. He's just, put respect, dude. I beat that guy. He quit. He's making excuses and all that sort of stuff. I says, look, he needs to get better at this and that. Just play along with it. Just fucking jive. Just jive, man. Don't be serious 100% all the time. Just jive. Take it as a fucking joke. The guy was laughing with you.
I think the dad has him wound up the fuck, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah, he does.
The dad has him living on his fucking nerves or something.
He's so emotional, that kid, man. He's so fucking wound. As you say, I think he's tightly wound like a motherfucker. He's like a spring ready to fucking. I think at some point something's going to happen to him and his dad. Like, and it's an uneasy piece they've got there, but something's off. Like, something's well off there.
It's another father vicariously living through his son, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Dal Singh nominated Floyd on Cameo. Here you go. You can get a Floyd personalised video for 750 quid. Might get Floyd rep in the asylum. Who knows, at some point in the future. Nomination for Bean, who's turned up on the darts, spoiling my enjoyment of the darts as well as the boxing. Thanks for that, Bean. Lewis Kelly. Oh, that was a question for the pod. We'll maybe save that till the end. What else have we got here? Ricky Gravel nominated Joe Gallagher on Boxing Social. We were doing okay after 6 rounds, said Joe. They were 6-0 down, says Ricky. Joe Kennedy has nominated Johnny Jab. They're having a bit of beef back and forward over the potential Canelo versus Errol Spence fight. We'll discuss that in the future. I'm not sure I'm too fussed on that idea. Dan, I nominate all the people who predicted Callum Smith to beat Canelo. He never had a chance. Only good legit win versus the shot George Grove with half a shoulder. One of the most overrated fighters I can remember. Says Dan. Andy there jumping in here, nominating Joe Gallagher. It could turn out to be a Hagler Hearns. Joe Gallagher is ready to fight fire with fire. It's if that's the way. Callum.
Bring it to me. Joe Gallagher ready to fight fire with fire, right? So, was this Joe Gallagher that was throwing the Tesco Joe left hooks last night? Was this Joe Gallagher that was getting backed up on the ropes for the whole fight? Was this Joe Gallagher, that was taking all these shots now for Canelo? And as Joe Gallagher said before, if you got a problem, if you want it less than me, we've got a problem. Well, you had a problem last night, mate. You couldn't fucking solve it. No belong to he's kind of washed out the sport as well, because see, once the Smith's retired and that, he's got no other fighters apart from is it Jonas he's got?
Mm-hmm.
Who else has he got at this
Callum
point?
Johnson.
Callum's frozen out the sport at this point. He's gonna have to retire at this point.
Good backup plan though, isn't it, Jonas?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad consolation prize. I think Joe Gallagher's overachieved with the stable of fighters he has when you look at the silverware they picked up. But I can't be.
Joe Gallagher's features on OnlyFans, I think.
I don't want to fucking sub to that one. I'll draw the line at the zone, to be honest with you. But
I think you know what it is, Joe Rob. I think he is a decent enough trainer, but I think he's a hard negotiator. He bargains hard for his fighters behind the scenes. I think.
I don't mind him, man. He comes out with a lot of shit, but who doesn't in boxing? Like, they're all fucking full of it. Like, that's why we have this section on the fucking show every week. Like, so I can't be too hard on him for last night. I don't think there's anything he could have fucking done differently. Like, all right, that would have worked better for Callum Smith in that fight. I think he was getting smashed up regardless. Like, so, I got a paycheck out of it. Cynical me, but I think, they were happy to take the money last night, like, and run into a Hagler Hearns.
Literally take your money and run, Rob.
Exactly. When you put it like that, yeah.
Gareth A. Davis has been nominated, Andy, for his scorecard. What was he doing the scoring for anyway?
God knows, mate. I've listened to The Zone now for the last 2 weeks on a free legal stream. I must admit, I didn't pay $1.99 for it. Fucking Rob Kelly. He's actually scoring even rounds, and believe it or not, they actually brought in Steve Smoger to talk about it, and he says, "Look,
that's right, yeah."
Actually discourage us, by the way. So Steve Smoller taking the Carol Froch cop out and drop them in 10 rounds. Look, I think you've got to score rounds winners, and I think the big problem here is obviously you get wide scorecards where if you get a close round and the other guy gets the benefit out of a round and that. It would be better if you get an absolute close round that you've got to pick a winner. Why not give it a half-point round? So make it like, so it's either like a 10-9. Give it 9.5, 9 round rather than a 10-9 or 10-10. Give it a 9.5, 9 round.
Well, it's stupid. It only happens in what is it, like WBA fights in Nicaragua or some shit like that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Way back in the day as well.
I think there's a genuine lack of understanding of the criteria to score around as it is,
Absolutely.
like as it's
Yep.
written. Because if you
No doubt.
follow effective aggression, ring generalship, defense, clean punches landed, and all that, it's not that difficult to fucking tell who won a fight, unless it's a razor thin where the two fellas are just teeing off on each other equally. But generally, like the fucking dog in the street can tell you who won a round, especially in that fight last night. Like, so yeah, I think there's a big lack of understanding of the scoring criteria from the judges, unfortunately. Who the
Well,
worst people have it.
Experience is key. Experience is key, Matty, as well. You know, good judges will have a good feel for how a fight's going.
What's that?
I was just saying experience is key as well. You know, experienced judges will have a good feel for the way a fight's going. They've seen it all before.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I feel like though is like I feel like a fighter should deserve to win a round. Like, for an example, the first round of the John Ryder Mike Guy fight. Did anybody deserve to win the first round? Anybody?
That was terrible, man. You just knew that fight was going to turn out that way. Just knew it.
Yeah, the fair score for the first round would have been 9-9 because they both sucked.
What do you think, Matty, about this was brought up last night in the Rodriguez-Gaballo fight? What do you think about referees getting stuck in, the way Macante kept on going, come on, guys, let's fight. Are you a fan of that, or should you just respect their styles and the fact what's going on in the ring?
I think that the refs should keep their mouths shut as far as the flow of the action this side of excessive holding. Excessive holding is something which definitely ruins the entertainment value of the fight, and I think refs should be more willing to step in that aspect. But I don't think there should be any level of encouragement. They're not there to coach. They're not there to lead. They're there to officiate the fight down the middle, the end.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, to be honest. I think they should stay out of it. Anyway, nomination for Gareth A. Davis, iced by Steve Schmoger. First early stoppage Schmoger's pulled off in a while, I suppose. Davis on the counter.
I quite liked Richard Steele's punch and get out.
Punch it and get out.
Because he's saying, like, you're allowed to throw with your free hand when you're on the inside. Don't have me break you. Like, if you're going to go in there, let's fight. Like, I like that. Like, but
I always believed that he was saying punch it out rather than punch and get out. I thought it was
punch and get out. Yeah,
punch and get out. I thought it was always punch. Punch it out.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. Maybe some of the headbangers in the chat will tell us. Even
I might turn up himself.
Can you imagine Steele pulling that Chavez job these days, by the way? Jesus Christ. Twitter with melt
crucified.
Man. Oh, what?
That's true. Trading Leather Boxing has nominated Josh Taylor. After watching that fight, I firmly believe Billy Joe Saunders, with his style, will give Canelo nightmares. Nick Pete here, Andy. Nick Pete, giving his tips as he does. The official voice of boxing here. Canelo will be forced to change tactics. And it's as he's overreaching to land that I can see Smith landing a volley of punches to shock the world. # Mundo KO, # boxing. My breakdown of Canelo Smith for Unibet. Tip, Callum Smith, round 7 to 9. As I said, Andy, he should be stick to fly tipping because he shouldn't be giving out boxing tips anymore. What's this one all about here? UKS said, your insight has won me a fortune this year. Your love and desire for this win has me backing him too. All in.
All in, so I actually tweeted that guy back and I said, if you're all in, that poor bastard's homeless by the end of this week.
Oh dear. Hey, what's next, Andy? Are Unibet going to come and ask me for start doing predictions or something?
It was beautiful. I mean, honestly, see the amount of shite that I got 4 weeks ago off these Scousers, by the way. That's why I went on that rant about them on the podcast that time. Honestly, man, I've never met I know some good Scousers, by the way. I really do. Some who I class as friends and stuff like that. But the fucking militant brigade are just like, they're off the Richter scale for absolute mentalism. They're just fucking nuts. They back their own. It's like, yeah, it's like the SNP supporters, man. They're fucking, it's like a cult. That's what it is. It's like Eddie Hearn's cult.
Eddie Hearn only has one cult, Andy, and it's this one.
No, the Bean
Secret Order of the Bean Masons.
So mote it be.
Absolutely. Praise be to Bean. Right, let's get on with it then before we go too long. Andy again here, DAZN Boxing, Canelo Alvarez, Callum Smith, who wins tonight and how? Spencer Fearon got stuck in. He says, I see an upset. Yeah, okay, Spencer. A man like Chin, Demetrius Andrade, is absolutely embarrassing himself on the zone, trying to pour scorn on Canelo's record, considering the Latvian electricians he has beaten up in his career. Definitely getting my vote for Bellew of the week. I like Latvian electricians. Oliver Isaacs, Fast Cars, Primani, Grey Suit Jogger Hybrids tonight has got a nomination there. Little Porky as well. And Martin from New Age Boxing, I thought this was quite funny. In response to Bellew talking about Triple G rematch, and Bellew anyway said, I agree with you, Canelo is amazing, and he done Triple G in the rematch even after he lost the first fight. As I've said, this man started his pro career at 10 stone and is now nearly 40 pounds heavier, rendering fighters unconscious. I've never questioned how good he is. He's amazing. The weight, and then he sort of did a shrug emoji, and Martin jumped in and said, for reference, 15 years of being a pro, Canelo has gone up 40 pounds in weight. Tony turned pro in 2007 at 175 pounds. 10 years later, in 2017, he fought Hay at 213 pounds, 38 pounds heavier. Tony has gone up more in weight per year and was rendering men unconscious, but one man is cheating, question marks. I thought that was quite an interesting one there. A bit of perspective for Martin and New Age Boxing.
Yeah, good to kind of put Tony back in his box and stuff like that. I mean, listen, I want to leave him. Sorry, Anthony. Sorry, Tony died. Sorry, Anthony. Yeah, I tweeted him earlier on there actually, just with my hot take with the Smith fight and that. And I wanted to leave him alone, but he never got back to me. I'm a bit disappointed because he seeked me out that time for that tweet response, and he never got back. I'm just gutted he never got back to me. Sorry.
Right, boys. I shall go round yours. That's all the nominations I have. Starting with you, Rapping Rob Kelly. Anything to throw in this week? Any nominations, Rob?
I'm sure I had one, but it's after slipping my mind, Steve. Anyway, come back to you, dude.
No problem at all. We shall come back to you. Matty, any nominations? I know you've already thrown in Demetrius Andrade. Anybody else has felt your wrath this week?
No. Andrade was enough, and then one of the things you said earlier pissed me off even more, so that's good.
Yep, good nomination for Andrade there. Andy, you've thrown in quite a few already. If you have any more, then throw them in now.
Yeah, Tim Tszyu just took out the trash here, as I says, against that guy Morgan. Believe it or not, that was actually $50 in Australia to watch that.
Oh, no way.
$50, man. I wish Ozzy was still on this call. Ozzy would absolutely hit the floor when I told him that news.
Laughs and Anthony Mundine.
I was shocked. So, as Ozzy says, he's a big star, but he's pay-per-view now, baby. So, as long as he stays in Australia, he's coining it in. Frankie Sanchez, he was getting caught. I don't know if you've seen it, Steve. That Julian Fernandez he was fighting last night. So Fernandez is like calling him in, come on, come to me, stuff like that. What happens? He gets knocked out right out of the ring and gets counted out in the judge's lap. That was quality to see. Eddie Hearn talking to Mike Coppinger, as I say earlier on there, that Eddie Hearn was like dressed like an extra or a murder suspect out of Poirot episode. So a wee shout out to Eddie Hearn and that. Even Eddie. Who else we got? Paul Coburn, LFC on Twitter. I'm assuming he's a Scouser and he's a Liverpool fan actually with this comment. He says on Smith, if he does, so I think he was talking about Pete Editor and that. He was responding to Nick Pete, that one about the prediction for Unibet.
Yeah. So
Paul Coburn comes back and says, if he does, my house is going to wake up early and Pete Editors are getting the blame to my bird. Ha ha. Right? So I just basically responded, I take it you got a nice long lie in this morning, mate. Just shite baggery, really, or shite housery, as they call it these days. Dominic Henry actually put up a guy that this guy knew, is it the Boomtown Rat? But they knew the fight was potentially happening for months before the announcement. It was a big fight, so keep yourself sharp and have all the sparring with that in mind, surely. But as Dominic then says, so bringing Joe Gallagher into the conversation. Furthermore, in months before the fight was announced, Tesco Joel Gallagher L was waxing ominous about how they weren't going to get caught out by the fight only being made with a month's notice. How they were training away behind the scenes was getting excuses in early all week. And as I say, earlier on the show, that Mannix mentioned on the commentary and that Joe Gallagher mentioned we've only had a month for this fight and that, so clearly they're going to use that as an excuse at some point as well for losing that fight. That's all I've got, mate.
Boxing full of bullshit as usual. It's going to have to be the main man for me, Andy. Just leave him alone. I tell you what, he's played an absolute blinder, big tone, unless there's any other standout candidate.
Anthony, Tony died.
Freaking hell, he's been resurrected more times than Jesus since I think. Freaking hell. I'll get rid of him.
He's coming back more times than Sinatra, man. Jesus Christ, away.
Tony for you, then Anthony for you, Andy?
Yeah, Tony, but sorry, Anthony. Yeah, without doubt.
Two for Tone. What about you, Matty? Who are you going for this week?
Oh, that asshole you mentioned earlier who acted like a savant in their breakdown of why Callum Smith was going to knock out Canelo.
Oh, Nick Pete.
Nicky Pete.
Yeah, that guy's a knob.
Anything he could do, I could do better. Come on, betting companies. If people want to be parted from their money, I'm available. Rob, who are you going for this week?
I remember my nomination. It was a big drama show. Golovkin saying that if De La Hoya was to come back, that'd be his chance to execute someone in the ring or something along those lines. So,
see, Oscar's talked some shit about Golovkin, so I can imagine he's pissed off. Like,
I mean, I don't put too much stock into what fighters say. They're all fucking headbangers. Like, but you shouldn't be kind of saying you're going to kill someone in the ring when you kind of can. Especially like if you fought Oscar, that's probably a realistic proposition. It's kind of scary thinking about Golovkin. Yes, I go to kill Oscar now. Go make Oscar a good boy, die. So
that would be an interesting one. The purse for Golovkin would be $5 million. The purse for Oscar would be a purse full of cocaine.
You stopped it before he got in the ring too.
With a makeup mirror in it. No, but in terms of nomination for a winner, like it's hard to look past. Just leave him alone. Simple as that. Tony Bellew, he's all out against the drug cheats.
Tony died.
Sorry, Anthony. Anthony's all out against the drug cheats, apart from the ones that are on Matchroom, and hasn't got suspicions of any Matchroom fighter whatsoever that he's vocal about on Twitter. So not a hypocrite at all. Tony, leave him alone, Bellew. But Lomachenko's running close with that, man. Take that big L like the one at the start of your fucking second name and hold it. You fucking lost the fight. End of story. That's it. You lost the fight. Whether you can't make excuses that you were injured after the fucking fight. But they all do it. Like Pacquiao did it before with Floyd, said his arm was gone, and Wilder's done it to the extreme. But it's pathetic, especially for one of the best fighters of our generation, like to be coming out with that. Just say nothing and come back. Like Andy said, just fucking go back to the gym, take your L, say to your people around you. We know fellas are winners and all that, like, but just fucking hold that L. Like you lost the fight. Nobody is fucking in the boxing world is saying that there's some kind of conspiracy against Lomachenko and that judges are getting bribed. It wasn't that close of a fight. Like he was in the fight or whatever, but I thought it was like 7-5 or whatever. I think most people saw it that way. So just fucking get over it. But Tony, you're not getting off the hook, man. Has to be you again, baby. Just leave alone.
Rob.
It's fucking Anthony.
Rob, just on Tony, have you seen that one the lad put up a few months ago? Tony, all drugs cheats should be banned, and then all the photos of him posing with like Antonio Tarver, Eric Morales.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't pose for a photo with them, but they should be banned for life, mates. It's as simple as that.
Fucking rat.
What a legend. Good old Tony Bellew of the week for episode 404. Congratulations.